The long march home. The scope and fruits blossoming within the imagination prepares the portal for all human activity to find its fate. Our story didn't stop but marched like an army bent on achieving eternal joy at each other's side. We travel far and wide, ending in the blessed shadow of the Great Spirit where both blissfully glowed. With all the love I own, this I give to thee, said he, smiling at her once youthful face, with eyes and wings like turtle doves looking down from above. Her peaceful countenance replied with a crystal sigh, the good I have is your doing. Hello, I'm Stephen Pitters, and I'm here to talk to you about poetry and what it's like to be a poet here in Spokane. I want to talk to you about poetry styles because it's surprising to me. I was writing a piece and found that there are over 160 styles of poetry worldwide, and there's new ones all the time. And as I have been trying to write, I have found that it's a lot of fun because for me personally, I write from my feelings, and whatever impacts me, whatever I'm inspired to write, I write about. Whether it be my shoes, my hair, my hat, evergreen trees, my dog, any and all I write about. And that is, why I am inclined, and I'm happy that I've had the opportunity to share the wealth of my imagination with, different people near and far. Made over. Together we chose to rule days, months, and years. Juntos elegamos redefinir los días, meses, y años without silence, sin silencio. It was the utmost celebration. Era la máxima celebración. I was truly made over. Me sentí renovado. Pride was on my side. El orgullo me pertenecía. Her kind words blessed me. Sus palabras amables fueron una benedicción. She or I, which of us is the baby? Ella o yo, y quién era el pequeño? No man could better be imparted. No existí otro hombre a quien se haya dado with such fire in his life, tanto fuego en su vida. His bell rings, he sings. Él redobla sus compañías. Es canta, she said, just make me love. Ella dijo solo amame, that is something, eso es todo, which can never be left behind, que nunca se puede postergar. It is the discovery of a lifetime. Es este encuentro el descubrimiento de toda una vida. One of the things that I do is when I go to high schools, I started to help the students not feel hampered, because when you go to school, you're usually taught the big 3 or 4 writing styles, Elizabethan, Spencerians, haiku, and a few others. But this technique that I've come up with really works, whether it be students or adults. And what it is taking an object and becoming that object, writing what you know about. For example, you can write a poem about the hair, your hair, or your shoes, or you can write a poem about being a car, or I-90, or whatever. So those of you listening, I want you to think about what it would be like if you were I-90. It's like the first few hours of the day, what does I-90 go through? What is I-90 saying? Is I-90 complaining about the semi that's running over its face or its back? Is I-90, complaining or talking about the potholes that it sees, things of that nature? Or if you were a fruit, a particular fruit that you like, what would that fruit be saying? Or if you can talk about your hair. you woke up this morning and you took a shower and you shampooed your hair and such, and your hair is saying, oh, I'm glad that she or he decided to use a good shampoo today, and so forth, and then go on and on. And it opens the individual up to experience that which they know, and it's easy to write. To thee, the heart always knows what the mission is and should be. I will return to thee like a sweet apple about to be bitten in autumn before it falls. If I didn't see you again, you would have been with me inside and out. Whatever was good is due to your heart's understanding, which permeated my past and present themselves deeply like a chunk of priceless gold and silver, crystal, diamonds, and rubies. The value of our times could not be confined, but did, and so it was. So it is and will remain in my brain for you not to know or feel wasn't steel, but real in my heart. The morning. We met where the test to the mind and heart would come to rest. What was to be was not conspired nor filled with ire. The fire sparkled like the thrill that exists in hope's natural aspiration. She who must be loved was the offering handed to the world by the Spirit from on high. Her worthiness transpires through mankind due to the basis she contained and framed in her friendly, compassionate sense of loyalty. From recorded time, she was meant to define the very nature of love, the beloved. Few are so designed with beauty in mind and inclined to inspire the emotions that do not recline. Their constancy matures accordingly. They are not restricted from engaging in the freedom their thoughts wish to share, to address. Whoever is fortunate to encounter them while in the world is likely to be overcome and not endure tempest or duress. Amare is the cloak she carries with dutiful tranquility, like imagination floating, basking in a calm green sea with courage that agrees with this divine blessing. One of the things that I started doing is when I meet someone and I ask their permission to write a poem about them, I will ask their name, and then I will go online and find out what's the meaning of the person's name. And you have all of these synonyms that that the person that comes up for that person's name. So like my name is Stephen, and my color is purple, and my name means royalty. So your name has so many incredible parts to it, not only in this language, but in other languages or other cultures, all those particular things you find out, and you keep and so you have all that information building up. So when it comes time to really write the poem, what you have available to you is a wealth of information, and all you have to do is come up with a storyline that fits the various interpretations, synonyms for that person, whether the person is honest, compassionate, and so forth and so on. I mean, they're just all the meanings for your name. You should try it out. You'll be surprised, all the things, or what is your astrological signs, all of those particular things make the story, and then writing the piece is so much easier because you have all this information at your disposal. The best version. Her radiant aura attracts the best version of what another soul can be. There is a place in her atmosphere where the world can sing and not hide its brilliance. She can be a twin in origin. Nobility and excellence reside in her with resolve. Life for her was ascending from her beginning. She is ever willing to collaborate with principal denominations by thinking outside the frame, Creativity flourishes in her active mind that is quick to nurture the necessities of those lacking vision. The demand of adult living is not a dulling convention, but a challenge to be assumed and redirected into positive retrospections. Virtue and strength carry the mantle of the daughter of God from the highest. Her respect is without the tears that will not make their way across her face. Being in tune with the world, she fashions the means and purpose of its creator by supporting his needful creations with her artful sensitivity that blooms like the Clematis briana, a Vidicella hybrid flower with rich violet purple sepals and white central bar. Life is to be lived like an intense desire which invigorates, stimulates while walking through the garden in the midst of heaven. This next section is what in the book is called Lines That Shine. Any poet or any writer likes to create good lines. So these are like the good lines that I was able to pull out of certain poems. And so this is one of those poems with what I think are the good lines. So the poem is Blinded Emotions. Love was suffocated by emotions. Trust couldn't discern a clear avenue to progress. Once we swore to adore, her heart held a sweet cinnamon scent. In a phrase neither of us chose to belong. We punished tenderness and strangled sensitivity. Life at times is a tedious proposal and too expensive to continue with this argument. Life often creeps like defeat that is unable to find a cozy seat on which to sleep. When love is still, the will to act is suspended. So these are the lines that shine. I go and I try to find these lines that stand out, which is what you're trying to do when you're writing special poetry, so that if I say to you, quote me a line from Shakespeare, folks will just be able to throw, Romeo, Romeo, where art thou? Well, this is what I'm attempting to do with these lines that shine, is give a line that someone might say, hey, I remember that, or, and they can use the line. So it helps as a poet when people are quoting you.